From Cuba to Miami, unified cries for freedom. Disturbing details read from a police report.
That if you ever leave me, I will hunt you down and kill you.
But the man who allegedly said them is an officer in South Florida. Plus, infrastructure is sealed, delivered,
the arteries that help move goods more quickly through our economy.
and getting signed today. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is Monday, November 15th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
South Florida support for Cubans on the island thinking about participating in today's planned demonstrations. Also today, Cuba reopens to tourists. That has a lot to do with the timing of the demonstrations. But as the CNN's Patrick Ottman reports, the communist government went through great lengths to make sure the event's organizer was not there.
A bus blocks the street where a Cuban opposition activist lives. Cuban plainclothes police and government supporters prevent him from leaving his apartment, and journalists from going to talk with him. The activist, a playwright named Junior Garcia Aguilera, posted this video before supporters tell me his internet was cut off by the government. I woke up under siege, he says. The whole block is surrounded by state security, dressed as civilians, trying to pass themselves off as the people. After widespread anti-government protests in July, the largest since Fidel Castro's revolution took power, a group of activists led by Garcia Aguilera called for a peaceful march to take place on Monday. The activists say they are calling on the communist-run government to allow more liberties and release hundreds of people still in jail from the July protests. Cuban officials denied permission for the march, claiming it is a pretext invented by Cuban exiles and the U.S. government, who want to use rising tensions inside Cuba as an excuse to invade the island.
The Cuban government has taken buses like this one to close off the streets. There are police everywhere. And there, in the distance, you can see a group of men, government supporters, perhaps police themselves, hanging flags over Junior Garcia's window.
Apparently unable to leave his apartment or get online, Garcia Aguilera holds up his fist in defiance through his window until that final form of communication is also cut off. A government supporter tells me he lives in the same neighborhood and that he is proud to have confined Garcia Aguilera to his home. I was there when he opened the door, he says. I was close to him. He believes this is fascism, to not let him out. And I said it's not fascism, it's the people in revolution. After blocking the activist from leaving, a group of government supporters even holds a party outside to celebrate. Other activists and government critics on Sunday said they were also being blocked from leaving their homes, but vowed that whatever the costs, they would make their voices heard. Patrick Ottman, CNN, Havana.
The music festival turned tragedy. Astroworld now has a new death toll of 10. 9-year-old Ezra Blunt died yesterday after being put on life support due to the injuries he got while being a part of the crowd when others rushed to the stage. Ezra had gone to the concert back on November 5th and was sitting on his dad's shoulder when a sudden rush had caused both of them to fall down. A Palm Beach Gardens police officer finds himself on the other side of the law this morning. He was arrested Wednesday accused of aggravated stalking and cyber stalking an ex-girlfriend. A police report details that Palm Beach Gardens police officer Brian Broem is accused of relentlessly stalking a Lake County woman he used to date.
One of the most disturbing things was said was that if you ever leave me, I will hunt you down and kill you.
According to the arrest affidavit, the woman trusted the officer. She has medical issues and gave him access to her home security system for emergencies only. She says he used it to constantly spy on her and watch her through the cameras throughout the day. A special session in Tallahassee on the topic of mask mandates begins today. Starting this morning, Governor Ron DeSantis has tasked lawmakers with passing 4 bills. One of them ups the penalties for businesses and local government that mandates COVID-19 vaccines. Another lets parents decide if their child wants to wear a mask to school. These measures will expend the governor's executive orders. Snoopy has flown in a plane and has the World War I flying ace. But his next assignment is out of this world. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
We need roads and highways, let me tell you. This was a bipartisan plan. It needed to happen.
After a long wait, President Biden will sign the infrastructure bill today. Don't go away, Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
COVID-19 has changed how we spend weekends with the girls. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to brunching instead of late-night munching. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it? Is it safe? Should I wait?
It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
After months of back and forth, the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill is set to be signed. Later today, President Biden is set to sign this bill, the legislation marking it the biggest individual infrastructure investment in U.S. history. But as CNN's John Lawrence reports, there's a new bill that has all the attention on Capitol Hill.
The Biden White House says the infrastructure package will deliver for American families. The legislation includes $550 billion for roads, bridges, ports, airports, and mass transit.
Is the most significant step that we will have taken in decades to actually invest in the arteries that help move goods more quickly through our economy, more cheaply through our economy.
13 House Republicans crossed party lines in voting to back the bill with a majority of Democrats.
Lindsey Graham, President Trump's favorite top Republican in the Senate, supported this bill when it passed 69-30. We need roads and highways, let me tell you. This was a bipartisan plan. It needed to happen.
Now that the marathon infrastructure bill is approaching the finish line, the White House is focusing on its Build Back Better plan.
We are confident that Speaker Pelosi is going to bring it up and that it will pass this week.
But some say that might be a bridge too far.
I don't think the votes are there yet. A good number of Democrats demanded and are going to receive a CBO report as to whether is it really paid for. What does it do when you expand Medicare? What does that do to the solvency?
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Peanut Snoopy will be heading to the moon. For the Artemis 1 moon mission, NASA will be launching a stuffed toy version of Snoopy to serve as a zero-gravity indicator. Outfitted with a complete spacesuit, astronaut Snoopy will be a part of the first of a series of launches, which will eventually help NASA land the first woman and the first person of color to the moon. The unmanned Artemis 1 mission is scheduled for early next year. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.